now tuned into Urban Voice Media.
Welcome back to another episode of the Roundtable session. I'm yours truly, LB. This evening, I'll be joined in conversation with an award-winning guitarist and soulful baritone crooner who blends elements of jazz, blues, and soul to his musical tapestry. He's a 2024 Jazz Artist of the Year with the Detroit's Black Music Awards and a 2026 Best R&B Single with Michigan Music Awards. His musical credits extends from More Time, I'll Be Good to You, Sooner Come Later, and his current single release, Change Your Heart. Right now, sitting at the table, we have Detroit's very own Mr. Smoke Jones. How you doing, sir?
What's going on, LB?
All right. Good to have you here, brother.
Man, it's good to be here. I appreciate you. Thank you for having me on.
Let me take that back. It's a pleasure and excitement. It's a privilege to have you here.
Wow.
And the reason why I say that, Smoke, is when your PR person sent your information over to me, I sat down and I'm like, okay, where we going to go from here? When I heard the song, I'm like, okay, I need to see the visual video. And there wasn't one. I'm like, okay. So what I did some research and I looked at some of your other music that you had done.
Yeah.
I'm like, this brother don't need a video. You do need a video, but you don't need a video. And the reason why I say that is because it left me to be more exploratory to where let me dig and see what I can find about this brother. And when I started digging on you, Smoke, I was like, Smoke Jones. That's a name you never, ever thought anyone would use. Smokey Robinson. Yeah. Smoke Jones. Now, speaking of that, you're from Detroit.
Yes, indeed.
Smoke.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
So it's kind of funny how that worked because, and again, first, it's an honor to be on this show. I appreciate you. I've watched your show. You have some greats on this show, man. Thank you for bringing me on. But the name Smoke, years before I ever stepped onto a stage, I started playing guitar and I started, kind of teaching myself that. And I posted some music online and eventually people at my job ended up seeing it. And a comment was made and it was a joking comment, but the comment was made, you'll never sing. And if you do, your career is going to go up in smoke. So we're going to call you Smoke Jones. Right.
Wow.
I couldn't wait. Years later, once I finally got a chance to hit the stage, someone asked me, first time I was on stage, said, what do you call? What do you call yourself? And the first thing I thought of was Smoke Jones. And I just rolled with it ever since. I don't know if that's spiteful or what that is, but
have you ever got the chance to meet that person again that said that to you?
Yeah, it's not a terrible thing. I think it was said as a joke. I took it personally at the time, and I think it did add a little bit of fuel, to make me really want to do this. But it's no bad feelings,
with something like that. We all, coming up, we all have kid names. Just like, I'm a short guy. I'm only 5'7", and my basketball greats were Spud Webb and Muggsy Bogues.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was always called Spud. But I also played football as well. And they would call me McCutcheon. You remember Lawrence McCutcheon?
Yeah.
They would call me McCutcheon because, I was great with, catching and everything. But as you got older, you would leave those names. But it would have been great if I did get to actually play NBA. I know I was too short to play football, but at least play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it seemed like with that person saying what they said to you, it was an honor, really.
Yeah, no, it was. Energy is everything, man. When people say things to you, it can damage you or it can strengthen you. And I'm a very, very positive person. I'm a winner, and I've always felt that way. So, when I heard that, it didn't really tear me up too bad. I mean, I thought about it, and But we use things like that for good, man. Now, the name is starting to become known, and I should really say thank you, because I don't know if I would have thought of Smoke Jones outside of that. So I'm gonna thank that person. We're gonna use it as something positive. It's
Yes,
good for
yes.
me. Yeah.
I like it. I mean, 'cause that was really my first question. I said, Smoke Jones. I mean, what's the backstory behind that word?
Yeah.
What is, or did his mom and dad,
Hey, I love Smokey Robinson too. I mean, there's a lot of people with, that came before me with names similar to that. It's an honor, really to even have that type of name that can be recognizable and identifiable with some greats, from Detroit. So it's a win.
Speaking of that, what you just said, greats from Detroit, being from Detroit. Now, you are originally from Detroit, still in Detroit, right?
Yeah, I was born in Memphis, Tennessee, and I ended up in Detroit at a very young age. I think maybe 6 years old. So I was raised in Detroit.
Okay. So being from Detroit, if you could give credits to a group or a song that kind of shaped the DNA for you, who or what song would that be?
A song from Detroit?
Yes, or group or artist from Detroit.
Oh, an artist from Detroit. Something that shaped me. I'm gonna just have to say, group wise, I'm just gonna say the entirety of Motown. I mean, because Motown was a sound that, that defined, that defined music at a certain time. So growing up, listening to that, I was always singing around the house. I was always, always had music in my heart. It was inspiring to me, and I grew up singing those songs. So I'm gonna give Detroit all the credit for what I'm doing.
Now, as far as, did you grow up in the church? Did the singing start in church or just around the house, like you said?
Just around the house, yeah.
Okay. Did any of the siblings, did they, catch on and do some of this, like play an instrument or start singing with you as well?
No, they didn't. They have their, their own varied careers, but I was pretty much the only one to go into music.
Okay. Let's go into one of your songs, I'll Be Good to You.
Yeah.
You said in that song, and I love the way you write these words, your words, man. I love it. You said, as good as candy is to a baby,
yeah,
I'll be good to you.
Yeah.
Young fellas, in the 70s, there was something called macking. That's a macking lyric right there.
Indeed.
Tell me about that, man.
Well, I'm gonna have to give that to Billy Davis, man. Billy Davis was one of Sam Cooke's best friends when he was alive. Billy Davis taught Jimi Hendrix how to play the guitar. Now, just put that in perspective. Billy Davis, who wrote that song, who wrote 90% of that song, taught Jimi Hendrix how to play. He's played with everyone, and he came to my house and he laid this song down and said, I wrote this song maybe 30 years ago, and I want you to do something with it, which was an honor. I said, can I add some lyrics to it, and can I bring it, current? He said, do whatever you want to do. I trust you with it. And he wrote that lyric, man. When he came to my house and he played my first, he made me upset with my own guitar, man, because he played it in a way that I never heard that guitar sound before. I was convinced it was broke. I just knew that guitar was broke. He picked it up and he played it, and the words that came out resonated with me immediately about how to treat a woman. It was amazing.
That's a strong lyric. As good as candy is to a baby, I'll be good to you.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, Smoke. Do you feel music and entertainment has gotten away from the sensitivity of showing love and how to be loved? Or should I say today's music?
I would say that there are some people that are singing about, the relevance of love and the way we treat each other as human beings, but I do think there's a lot of it, probably even the majority of it, to where, if the focus isn't on dance or maybe something, that does not have to do with love, maybe it's all about sex, there's nothing wrong with sex, but when the song is just, kind of perversely always speaking about it, I think that really pulls away from messages of love and respect and
Right.
commitment and all those things. I do think music has digressed to be marketable, but I think there is a market to really tell a story about, how we fall in love or how we should treat, how we fall out of love. There's a market for those things. We don't have to, we don't have to take it left.
That question came from my dental hygienist. I was there this morning getting my teeth cleaned, and I told her I had an interview later on this evening, and she asked, who was it on? And I told her, your genre. I said, he's not just in one. I mean, he does several different genres. I said, if there is a genre for him. And she said, ask him this question here. Is the sensitivity in music gone? She said, because I'm tired of hearing, just like you said, it's just sex and other stuff.
Yeah.
You had said you sing about backyard parties and barbecues in the song "In More Time."
Yeah.
Give me the backstory on that one.
So More Time is a song about making sure that you spend more time with the people that you love, because you never know what can happen. Not even just the ultimate of maybe losing a loved one or a friend, but when we lose contact and we don't speak for a long period of time, possibly about something that doesn't even matter, something where our pride got in the way and kept us from talking to our brother or our sister or our friend. It makes you sit sometimes and just think, man, you remember that time we was at the family cookout and little kids running around tripping, knocking food over, needing whoopings. Remember that time we was going to run away and, we got our stuff together and ended up walking down the street. Next thing you know, we at the store buying candy and pop, and we go and play at the park all day. And then we get home and the street lights are already on. And you know what happens when the street lights is already on when you get home.
Exactly.
That's what it's about, because when we lose contact, it makes us think about those things. So why not use that opportunity to say, let me get outside of my pride. I'm thinking about you. I'm going to pick up the phone and call you. And reestablish.
Here in North Carolina, and I'm not speaking for all North Carolina families, but my specific family, we don't have family reunions like we did when my grandmother and grandfather was around.
Right.
And it seemed like after grandma and grandpa went to the next room, it seemed like the family just went their own direction as well. I mean, the whole entire family, my grandfather's brothers and sisters, kids, we all got together, and we don't do that anymore. So when I listen to More Time, that's what that put me in mind of, those family reunions we used to have that we don't have anymore.
Yeah, I get it. We just need a little bit, once your time is up with someone, ultimately, you begin to think to yourself, man, I just need a little bit more. I would just take a couple seconds.
Was that song personal for you?
Yeah, it was very personal, because as you live and and you lose people, it stays on your mind. It's not something that gets away. And sometimes you think to yourself, I just need another second. Just let me get 2 minutes just to talk to my friend and laugh, like I used to laugh, that's what it is.
Smoke, I'm gonna make a confession. I'm a little jealous of something you had done with Laura Rain at the Ford Fireworks in Detroit. There at is it Care?
No, that one was actually downtown Detroit. Actually, it was at the near the Renaissance building. Yeah,
but it was about water though, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, when I seen that, I'm like, wow, what better place to put on a performance?
Yes, indeed. I got to give Laura Rain, a lot of thank yous for that particular show, because initially Channel 4 had approached her about playing this particular gig, and it needed to be a duet. And she said I was the first person that she called, and then we rocked it out. You need people like that in your life that are going to think about you when major things happen. Anyway, it was a great venue, man. You couldn't even believe how the air felt, how the day felt. It was such a sunny day, but the wind that was coming off the water, and just the entire vibe of it. It was a perfect day and a perfect evening.
I saw it because the crowd got up. Ladies and gentlemen, they were singing "What You See Is What You Get" by the
Yeah,
Dramatics,
yeah,
and the crowd got up. I mean,
yeah,
they got up,
yeah,
got up.
yeah, yeah. They
And
did.
if you're just doing an okay, presentation of someone else's music,
Yeah,
it is what it is. But
yeah,
this crowd got up, so that lets you know they were doing justice to it.
yeah, yeah. We rocked it. The crowd got up with us, and Laura Rain. If you've heard Laura Rain sing, if you've been to a Laura Rain show, Laura Rain is absolutely amazing. So we have a nice synergy going back. Excuse me, going back and forth. It was a good day. It was a good day.
Mm-hmm. You had spoke about you had mentioned Billy Davis earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and you had also worked with him on "I'll Be Good to You."
Yeah.
What did you learn from Billy by sitting down doing works with him?
Yeah. I think I learned patience. When you're writing a song, I think you maybe something that you're attempted to do is to just write it and finish it and get it done. The whole process of writing a song and reading it and singing it, and then editing the song, and putting yourself into the vibe and the motion of the song is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Lyrics that you want to stand the test of time, it takes time to lay those lyrics down. And
Right.
speaking to another point, that another question that you asked, I think that is part of what may be somewhat wrong with some music nowadays, is because everything is just written so quickly and released in volume. When you look back in the day, songs was written, the music was layered, the vocals, and the message of the song was just on point.
Mm-hmm.
It told a story. And if you listen to Billy Davis's music, he does that, along with playing that guitar so well. So I learned patience in writing, and also to respect history as well, because he's a historic individual. And when he came to my house and he sat down and he played my guitar in a way that I have not, that humbled me. And Billy Davis was 80 in his early 80s at the time, maybe 83, close to 84. And
Wow.
That meant a lot to me. That meant a lot. If you think that an older person that has been in the business for a long time does not have a wealth of things to teach you, they have forgotten more than you possibly will ever learn. So I put myself in a position of sitting and listening.
I understand what you're saying, because I'm a DJ, and I ran across a video where there was a truly old school DJ.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm a product of the 70s, and I would say this guy may be a product of the 60s, maybe 50s.
Okay.
And his skills on those turntables was phenomenal. Blew me over. And I sent that to all of my DJ friends and say, hey guys, look at this right here. And when I saw him, I first thought, oh Lord, here we go. But once he started, spinning the wheels, and he was using vinyl, he started spinning the wheels. I'm like, oh my gosh, this dude's spinning like he's back in 1980. DJ Jazzy Jeff style. But so I understand what you're saying. I really truly do. I understand what you're saying. As far as your personality, what part of your personality are you putting in your music?
I think you have to use all of it. You really can't filter it. I have, I think I have a pretty decent sense of humor. I think I'm a pretty, loving person. I have, I have my ups and downs like everyone else with my personality, and that you have to tap into all of that to authentically. I have a song that I did with a great friend of mine, Akinale Spate, the Black Knight here in Detroit. And we wrote a song, you got to listen to it. It's called Had to Walk Away.
Wow.
And this song is somewhat about, it's stalking, domestic abuse, that type of thing.
Mm.
And so we had to tap into, certain feelings and certain experiences to be able to write a great song. Check it out. It's called Had to Walk Away. You got to use your personality. You have to use your I do.
Mm-hmm. Now, is Had to Walk Away? Is it under your profile pages or the other gentleman's?
It's actually under his. Yeah, his name is Akinele Spade. I'll send you a link to it.
Okay, sounds great.
Yeah.
When you in Change of Heart,
Mm-hmm.
you used both baritone and falsetto.
Yeah.
I could be a little bit off, but I could be off if I said that style of singing
Mm-hmm.
were from the artists of the 80s on back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when you sat down and you started writing, was it in the writing or in the composition where it stages where you said, hey, I'm gonna use both, I'm gonna use baritone and falsetto?
No, it was actually so I wrote that song on my guitar, and and as I was writing, I was singing and playing with pitches and whatnot. And it wasn't until I actually got into the studio. I'm gonna tell you, Turhan Terrell is an amazing producer. He's an amazing musician, and he told me just to let go, stop thinking about it, get outside of it and just sing. And so, I was feeling a certain way during certain parts of the song. And then when I really wanted to just emphasize the emotion, sometimes it's not, in the depth of your voice. Sometimes it's at the very top of your voice when you're finishing phrases, or maybe you start a phrase with a falsetto and you get into it that way. I'm not a classically trained singer, but I think that I've listened to a lot of great music that has shaped me. And that's an ability that I have that I'm still developing at this point. But I think it came over really, really good in that song. And I appreciate you noticing that aspect of it.
For those who don't understand the difference between baritone and falsetto, could you give them like a couple note example as to what baritone means, or what baritone is and what falsetto is?
Well, I mean, I just think like a baritone is a person that sings in a lower register. And so that's going to be, very low. You may hear my voice rumbling a little bit, right? And that is more of a baritone type of tone. I like to also use falsettos, which was at the very top of your voice. I'm not speaking as a person that trains people singing. I just know what I do. And so it is a very, very, it's a higher pitched style of singing from the top of your head is what I would call it. And it's a great contrast if you can sing both low and really, really high in the same song. It's a good contrast.
Well, what I'm gonna do, Smoke, I'm gonna give the viewers a chance to listen to Change of Heart so they can actually hear what I heard when I listened to it for the first time. And we'll be right back. All right.
Thank you.
I found you, we started as friends. Together we grew to depend on these feelings. I was willing to be here till the end. My head spinning, 'cause our dealings have made me feel distant instead. We had a change of heart. we shared our love, honest and true, then watched it fade into the blue. I just knew that we could do it and build back these bridges we burned. We're not trying, love is dying. The feelings we had won't return. We had a change of heart, change of heart, change of heart.
Smoke. Brother, you created some stuff up there in Detroit, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
You created some stuff. You created something, man. The reason why I say that, Smoke, is because no matter what age group a person is in, if they were to get the chance to hear this song, I feel it will help so many people out.
Yeah.
For anyone listening who's going through, and check this one out, Smoke.
Mm-hmm.
For anyone who's listening who's going through a change of heart or looking for more time in their own life, what message do you want them to take away from this music?
I want you to take away from it that you have to, you have to be very thoughtful. There's the idea of making sure that you protect yourself. You have to protect your energy. But you also have to make sure that you don't trample on someone else's. And, we're very concerned with, self-preservation and in a relationship, I'm going to do it to him first. I'm going to do it to her first. I'm going to pay this person back. Sometimes you got to take a second and you have to look at yourself, because it takes two. My mother always said it takes two to tango, usually. And, we have to look at ourselves. And if you have a change of heart in particular, there are things that lead up to that, maybe someone is not appreciating the other person the same way, maybe we haven't talked about what our goal is as far as having a relationship is, and we entered into it under the wrong pretense, maybe we just are not being genuine about what we want as a person, and we're inside of that thought for ourselves, and externally that person knowing what they want, you're not fitting that bill because you don't know what you want,
Right.
We can all point fingers, but having a change of heart as it relates to more time, sometimes you just have to make sure that you treat people the right way, because once it's all said and done, you can miss a person all you want, but if you didn't treat that person right while they were here, you're really gonna have some pain behind that. And I just want people to have the real feelings. When you listen to Donny Hathaway and you listen to Stevie Wonder, they give you real emotion. It's just not lyrics written so you can dance and sway. You get caught. Right. I get caught up listening to lyrics,
right?
Because they are written to make you feel a certain way. And I want to be that type of person when I'm gone, where people can pull up my catalog and go, man, let me kick back and listen to this song because it's right in line with what's going on in my life right now.
Exactly. And when I said earlier in reference to sensitivity, I mean, not being, passive or anything like that, but just showing, like you said, your heart, showing your true feelings, giving some emotion. And that's what I get when I hear a change of heart, and also more time. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, that's one that you better buckle up.
Yeah.
Because both of these are strong, deep, heart-rooted songs. More time, you if you're going through something, ladies and gentlemen, sit down and listen to both of these songs. Both of these songs right here will help. That's the only mentorship you need. I'll put it that way.
I appreciate that, man. that's, I appreciate that coming from you, and you've heard a lot of music and you've talked to a lot of people. I really appreciate you saying that.
Earlier, Smoke, me and you, we spoke in reference to age groups and stuff backstage. We spoke in reference to that.
Yeah.
So this question here goes to that.
Mm-hmm.
If you could look back and give if you can look back 20 years ago and give 20 years ago a Smoke Jones advice, 20 years ago, what advice would you give him?
I would say don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of your possibilities. I was at a time in my life where I really had no clear vision, as to what I really could do. I didn't feel like I could sing. I had just bought a guitar and I started trying to teach myself how to play, but I wasn't doing it with the intent of actually playing. I was just trying to get myself by a particular point that I was in. And I would say to myself, don't be afraid, and, go harder toward, be a whole lot more intentional toward what you want to do as far as music goes. Because I feel at this point that music is going to be the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
That's how strongly I feel about it. It's not a hobby, it's what I love. So I would tell myself to be more connected to that early. When you meet someone who has, it can go one of two ways. Like if you meet someone who has been a musician or a singer since they were children, they're going to have a certain amount of skill and familiarity with that instrument that no one else can. But they can also take it for granted because it was a skill they learned so young, and maybe they won't excel because it's just boring. They've been doing it since they were little.
Right.
I didn't pick up this until less than 10 years ago, and I feel it was the best time for me because I have an appreciation for not only the music, but for the way I connect to the music. Aside from what anyone else thinks about it, the music began to hit me in a certain way, and music began to change my life and steer me in a certain way. And I'm fortunate that I was able to use that to kind of guide my energies in the right way. I'm as happy and as fulfilled as I've ever been in my entire life. And that is going to continue pushing forward because of the purpose that I found.
I see you are busy doing shows in the Michigan area. Have you branched outside and did shows in other areas as well?
Yeah, I have, and I'm looking to do that in some more places. It's funny that you mentioned that because I just brought a friend of mine, Heshima Moja from New York, here to do some shows with us this past weekend, and he came and he knocked it out of the park. And I'll be visiting New York to do some shows out there with him, and I have a couple connections in Arizona and Ohio and California, some other places. And I just really look forward to expanding because I think Detroit is a really, really good market, but I really need to continue to branch outside of where I live. I've gotten some interest from overseas as well. I mean, we got to keep growing.
Have you had a chance to share the stage with some of I guess you say the artist that's actually internationally known, not just domestic, but actually internationally, like someone like Kim or
internationally known? I don't think I've had that pleasure quite yet to actually be singing, back and forth on the same stage with folks like that. But it's going to happen. They'll have an opportunity to sing with me at some point. You gotta think about it like that. It's going to happen. And I have amazing friends that are pushing me. You have my friend Ron Ledford. You know Ron Ledford. Ron Ledford is amazing. Sabrina Taylor is amazing. Those people want to see you win, and if there's anyone that is going to help me to expand and broaden my reach as an artist, it's going to be those two and whomever else that they align me with. really have a good team of people that I work with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both of those PR people, they're phenomenal people to work with. Smoke, I'm going to share something. I'm going to share your page
Okay.
with everybody. And as you can see, and actually there's the roundtable session there, but here's some of the other songs on his. He has Change Your Heart, Had to Walk Away. Is that the song you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, Had to Walk Away. You can download it. You can download it directly, actually, for free on this one here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Say Less, More Time, and I'll Be Good to You. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Smoke's out there. Actually, he's been on television several times.
Yeah.
He's out there doing his thing. I don't know if that was the actually, here's some of your dates. July the 9th, July the Thursday, he'll be at the Horizon Park in Bellevue, Michigan.
Yeah, it's going to be a waterfront performance. It's going to be nice.
And Sunday, July the 19th, he's going to be at the Schoolcraft College at Rathskeller Stage.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be headlining a stage for the Michigan Jazz Festival, which is an amazing honor. I'm going to have some of the greatest, I'm going to have perhaps the greatest horn section in Detroit working with me that day. Very high profile, guys.
And then on Wednesday, August the 19th, he's going to be at the Oak Park Amphitheater in Oak Park, Michigan.
Yeah, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, y'all go out there and support this young man. He's a phenomenal artist. Just can't say singer. I mean, because he plays. Do you play anything other than the guitar, or just the guitar?
Pretty much just the guitar. I mess around with the keyboard a little bit, but don't strand me on the show with it, because I will tear the show up. I will mess that show up. Don't do that. But guitar is what I love.
Smoke, before I let you go, this is my last question to you, brother. This is my exit question. I love asking all artists and musicians to have performed on some of the largest stages known. If you could create that concert that defines who you would like to be on stage with you, where would that concert be? And who would open the concert? And who would be the mid? And of course, you would be the closer. Who would the other two groups or artists be? And where?
Can they? Wow. So because I kind of,
this is your show now. This is your show.
This is my show. Okay. Can I resurrect people?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm going to say that, and you know, I have to be the closer, but I'm going to say I would love to have Donny Hathaway on that show. Got to have Donny Hathaway on that show. The feel, the jazziness, the voice, the soul, the telling of stories. You have to have Donny Hathaway. The second, wow, I'm going to combo this. So if you could have a combination where you took a guy like Robert Glasper and you had a guy like Nat King Cole that would sing with him, imagine Nat King Cole with Robert Glasper laying chords down behind him. Imagine that, right? I don't care who's opening. You can switch. Imagine Robert Glasper and Nat King Cole, right? It seems like two styles that may not mesh. I think it would work. And then, you know, the Smoke Jones experience at the end of the show. Yeah.
I kind of feel Donnie, because you mentioned him earlier, I think twice.
Yeah.
So I kind of figured he would be one of your favorites you want to have on the stage with you.
Yeah.
But Nat King, I was not expecting that one.
Nat King Cole.
That's an awesome pick.
Man, he's amazing. He's amazing. I think he was so, to this day, I think Nat King Cole is still underrated as being one of the greatest singers that we've ever heard. I don't know if you've ever really heard Nat King Cole sing at the top of his voice. He's so controlled. He's so methodical. He's so in the pocket, right? And growing up listening to his music, it just gave me a sense of singing that maybe some folks don't appreciate, because you have other spectrums, you have other types of artists that they're power singers, or Nat King Cole was a very, very smooth and deliberate singer, and I love that about him. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, Smoke, keep doing what you do, and what you do is great work.
Thank you.
And anytime that you're doing something, you got a new release, let your Sabrina know, and we'll be more than happy to schedule up and have you here at the Roundtable session. I enjoyed having you here. Like I say, it was a privilege to have you here.
It's an honor for me.
And Smoke, I say that because you had said something to me before we went live, and it blew me over as to the time length. And I'll just leave it there because only me and you know what that means.
Yeah. That
blew me over. Yeah. For you to have as many credits as you have in this short time period that you gave me.
Yeah, I don't mind people knowing. That's part of my story. I haven't been doing this for an entire 10 years, but I really appreciate it. And I'm pushing very, very hard. And I think I can even push, even harder. I'm proud to say that inside of, 8 or 9 years at the most, that I've done a lot, but there's a whole lot more to do. There's so much more to learn, so many more stages, so many people to meet and to vibe with. And I'm very, very humble in the fact that I know that there's so much more to do and to learn, and I'm here for it. I just want to get to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Give it to us, Smoke. Give it to us, because we deserve it. We deserve to hear it. Because you sound like an artist who's been with bands and groups for the last 30 to 40 years.
Wow, thank you.
Not just 8 to 10 years in the game.
Yeah.
You don't sound like that type of artist.
Thank you.
You sound like an artist who've learned from some of the greats of the greats of the greats, or you have learned from one of the greats.
I've learned from a lot. I've learned from a lot of the greats. I mean, Bobby Murray just passed. Learned a lot. You have Thornetta Davis, the Queen of Blues here in Detroit. There are a lot of people that I've had a chance to work with and to watch. And even if you don't work with someone, and I know, I don't want to push you over time, but even if you haven't done a particular production with a person, if you get a chance to go to enough shows and really listen and take in what they're doing on a certain level, you can extract what you need to keep moving forward. There's no reason right now, with all the media and all the places you can go and observe music, there's no reason why you can't take in what you need to learn. So
yeah, and I appreciate that, man, because once again, you're doing great work, and we deserve more from you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm just gonna leave that there. And for those who hear you, reach out to this brother. I mean, because Smoke, you have a gift, not a talent. You have a gift that it takes some decades to master, and you've mastered it instantly.
Wow.
Just by opening your voice. You mastered it. All you had to do is what you said earlier, is when you were talking to the 20-year-old Smoke Jones.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
Right.
And when you decided not to be afraid, hey, we got you now, bro.
Thank you.
With that being said, Smoke, if it's a creator's will and the creek don't rise, my brother, I'll see you on the other side. You take care, my man.
All right, you too.
All right.